a city that's got lots and lots of canals and other such as a part of it. And there was essentially a Thieves Guild war at one point. And one of the things that happened is they basically got together and said, we need to stop fighting us quite so much. So what they did is they actually came to what they call the Accords. And they put together this agreement that essentially would stop the fighting and would get them so that they could actually be working together. So when there are jobs, one of the things that they are doing is they try to get as many different cabals as possible, basically like different types of Thieves Guild, as possible in there. So when they bring together people from various these different cabals and Thieves Guilds and such to do the various jobs that are needing done in the city. It's a little bit steampunky as far as the city goes, and it's split into essentially legwork and then drama scenes. And so it's designed like to go out, get information, find the stuff, get back together, and then you have like planning scenes, which are limited to 15 minutes.
That's interesting.
Thank God.
Yeah, because like one of the things that one of the reasons I like Leverage so much is what it does is it essentially says you could do what a lot of people do with Shadowrun and spend half of your damn life making plans that none of you are actually good at, that none of you are going to know how well they would go or how poorly they would go, and instead just jump straight into it, which is one of many things actually that Blades in the Dark kind of took from.
Yeah.
Took from it. Like Blades in the Dark has got a lot of like Leverage light, and this has taken some cues from sort of both of those, and it's designed to run super quick and like I said, easy to set out really fast. So you'll notice there's two things. There's cartels and specialties. And the cartels are the different Thieves Guilds in the city. If you kind of open them up, like the Mummers, for example, I just went and opened them. What happens is if you're playing, you've got like a two-sided card. So they are performers and entertainers who also do other work. You've got a thing called Influence, and everyone starts off with one, and you can get more from just doing cool stuff. Influence, you can basically just spend to make things happen, and it tells you these are some of the things that you can do. There's a special ability for each of the types, and there's a front and a back. The back is a little more flavor. Like the front has got more of the game stuff. The back is like, here's some sample characters, here's some sample names. Then you choose each person chooses one of those, and then you have one specialty. Now, with only a couple exceptions, like I think the dragon can only be part of Red Lotus Society. There's a few others that can only be like from a certain society. But like you could have a mummer assassin or warden of the night, fortune teller, or grave digger grifter. So you end up taking one of those, and one of the cool things, if you just look at any of the specialties, so it gives you, like, here's the equipment you start off with, here is some special stuff that you can do. Then it goes, here are your skills, and the very last skill is everything else. And, like, there's a back to these cards, and you can see there's a specialty back page, but it's essentially just, I've actually put that in the middle of the Roll20 page, which is basically like, yeah, here's just the stuff you need to know to play the game.
Yeah. Random thing.
Yes.
Right now we have GM privileges. If we don't need them, could you take them away? Because I almost misclicked on some bad stuff.
Oh.
If I need them, then it's fine. But...
You don't need them. I think I have to go out to the actual Roll20.
Oh, okay. If it's a pain, don't worry about it.
It's a pain.
I'll be careful.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you'll be fine. Like if you move something or whatever, it's not a big deal. There is nothing hidden on here.
Right.
Also, this has nothing to do with anything. The lady on the circle 1 has the biggest arms compared to her body, and I love her so much.
I thought the same thing! Alexa, we are on the fucking same wavelength tonight.
Hi, I'm jacked.
hijacked. I'm your best friend now.
One thing I like is
Date or
one thing I like is they've got male and female for each.
yes, I like that.
Oh, nice.
So like the back one has the
The other one.
Yeah,
the other
and
one,
it switches which one's on the
These
front. Which one's on
outfits
the back.
also are just so fucking good.
so great.
Really good costumes. Anyway.
I mean, to be honest, it's one of those things. Like, just look through what looks cool and go with that. And, like,
That's
there's-
literally what I'm going for.
Yeah,
like,
there's-
what looks cool.
We all have to be the same group,
no,
right?
you do not, because part of the Accords, you can be the same cartel if you want, but part of the Accords was when they get jobs, what they try to do is get as many different cartels involved as possible, so that way everyone's sort of sharing in the job. So it's a way if players want to be different things. It's not like, why are these two working together?
So like all the thievy guilds were like, yo, we need to stop fighting each other and let's just make a fuck ton of money
Yeah.
together. Okay.
I mean, looking at... I think Wardens of the Night was one I was looking at. Oh, where'd it go?
Outlaws, bandits, brigands, and
Do we all play, or is this GMless, or...
No, it is GM'd.
Okay.
Jimmed. Cool.
I mean, I like Wardens of the Night because they do direct action against the wealthy.
Do they eat the rich? Is that it?
I mean, they've rejected authority of the crown. Many members of the Wardens of the Night were wronged by the crown or its agents, causing them to seek revenge on unjust system. They target the wealthy and powerful, and their crimes are direct. I mean... I might do that. Is there any that's catching your eye? Mummers also caught my eye.
All of them are so good.
And if you both want to be part of,
Oh, the Hanged. Fuck! Look at the Hanged.
Oh, the skull face.
The skull face. Hey, we're actually just gonna do a 3-hour analysis of the costumes of City
how
Outlaws.
cool they are.
Strap in, everyone.
Oh, tell me something real quick. Do you have a thing that just says Dusk City in the lower left?
Lower left. I haven't.
A macro?
I do not have. I don't have that macro enabled. No.
Okay.
No, I don't have a macro.
So, can you remind me? Are the specialties tied to certain?
Nope. Well, there are a couple. There are a couple. Like, if you open them up, some of them will say, like, at the very top.
Oh,
usually
must
it'll
be a
say
member of
rare,
the church. I
must be
see.
a member of this. There's only a few that are like that.
I hit 4 in a row. Whoops. 5 in a row. Whoops.
4 in a row.
6 in a row. Whoops. Where?
What did you do?
I'm looking at the specialties, and almost a lot of them are tied to classes. It's fine. Weird. Only. Oh, interesting. The Wardens of the Night do fucking warging. Huh. Distract someone, handle animals, shoot someone, tail someone, outdrink someone. This game is good. Yeah, I think actually, like a lot of the ones seem to be tied to class. I mean, I think all of them, all of the classes or all of the cartels have one.
Mhm.
I think is what it is.
Is there a place to double check where a macro came from? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because when on your character sheet, it's on. If you notice underneath all of those, I put your names on each of them. There is a macro on there that'll have, because like when you roll dice, it's percentage dice, and then you can be given advantage or disadvantage dice, both actually. And like they've got some symbols that can pop up there that can help or hurt.
Mm. Lexa, you feeling anything in particular yet? I'm still deciding.
I'm like, there's so many cool things, like the beguiler and stuff, but also, I might just want to punch things.
Ooh. I ain't gonna stop you from that. I think I am, just so I stick with something to get things moving. I'm doing Wardens of the Night or the Hanged.
Okay.
Those are the two I will choose from. So you have a hand crossbow. Other characters can't hide from you, surprise you, or sneak around you. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I'm going to go with Warden of the Night.
Let me read through all of the influence spending on everything. Gain access to a dragon ship.
One thing I think that's kind of hilarious is, so it's designed kind of to do one-shots, and everything is set up for it. It's got, like, I mean, it looks like a board game when you pull it out. I mean, as far as, like, the, like, there's a judge's book and a player's book. The judge's book, most of it is, like, these, it's on 4 pages each are the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And they go through, and it's like, here are all the various components of the job, and here's, if there's a thing it'll say things you know about. And one thing those will do is certain information you'll get automatically because it's something you know about. And then you'll know to kind of dig. You can get that stuff other ways too. But it often starts you out with, here's what you got. And then certain parts of the city, you will be more or less, you'll kind of stick out more or less. Yeah, so you are conspicuous in all districts during the day, and at night only if you reveal yourself to a law-abiding citizen.
Oh, great. Did I choose a hard class?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
During the day, everyone fucking...
I mean, whereas Thief seems like something... Sneak around, aiding. Maybe I do Thief. Trying to find the mummer specialty, because I bet that's fun.
The same people are doing a superhero game that's also designed to be like real quick, get
cool.
stuff together, and they put out a cyberpunk version of this one that looks that has some really cool, like, you need Dusk City Outlaws to play it, but it has some super cool ideas in the like, basically most people's memories and everything are uploaded pretty regularly. It's just that only the very rich can afford to have them downloaded into something.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh, this could be very good. I could be a mole, an undercover agent. During a legwork scene or drama scene that you're not already a part of, you can choose one judge control character and reveal that the character you chose was, in fact, you in disguise all along. Oh, that's very funny. But I feel like since we only have 2 players, we're probably not going to have a lot of solo scenes.
Yeah, because usually what happens during so legwork scenes, when you plan to go out and you're finding out, you're usually trying to find out specific stuff, and they're not sort of run, they're not zoomed in a huge amount, so it's basically keeping it so that those go relatively quickly. Drama scenes, when things start to go wrong, they can become drama scenes, and then the when you finally do the thing at the end, when you've got everything ready, that is like a big drama scene. But one of the things you can do is, okay, I'm going to I need to find out about this thing, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to be checking into this, breaking into this place and finding out whatever. And I'll be like, okay, so here are the obstacles. There's you got the guards that are there, and there's a security system. So what might happen is other players can become like everyone has a legwork scene, and you can be in anyone else's legwork scene. Now the problem can be is that the more people that are involved, it can end up bringing up a little bit more heat down, depending on how things go. Because I have heat counters that I can end up spending to make different things happen.
Yeah, let's see what I can gain access to the city's reserves. I can reach out to contacts outside the city. I can obtain goods or wealth stolen from traders. I can place supplies. I can smuggle people in and out. I can relay signals. Ooh, Alchemist looks fun. Lexa, any progress? Because too many things look cool to me.
Don't.
I really want to play Counterpoint. But I feel like you also like playing Counterpoint sometimes.
Hold on. What is that a specific thing?
No. Like we both tend to like play against like, oh, you're doing this, then I'll do this.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely.
All right. What do you want to like? Do you want to beat people up? Do you want to just be brawler?
I don't know.
You can get brass knuckles
I could. Hold on. Let me.
and intimidating scars.
Let me finish reading through the cartels because I'm just reading through the grave diggers now.
You can also break something.
I can just auto break a thing.
No, you have 80% on breaking something.
Oh fuck. So what did you go with? The wardens or the hanged?
I went with the wardens.
Okay.
Yeah, you're conspicuous in all districts during the day. At night, you're conspicuous. God.
Well, some of that comes down to just where you just like. There might be a couple things that you do, so you're doing most of your stuff at night.
Yeah.
Things you know about. Outside the city and horses.
Or God, I could do Weir, and then just be in an animal all day. Oh, that's very funny. You're looking at Gravediggers, you said?
I was just looking at just finishing reading them. Fuck, what's the Vespers? Oh. Rich people robbers.
Hello, I'm a rich people robber.
I mean, you could be Big Arms Lady.
They're very, I think they're Russian, I think. Or like fantasy Russian.
Yeah, that seems to be. I mean, yeah, okay. We get it. It's Russia.
I need to pick a speciality first because I love everything. So what were you thinking?
I'm
Speciality-wise?
thinking either Weir, which is special for Wardens of the Night. It's like I can possess animals and like distract people. I get a bow and arrow, and I can like tail people and like create disguise. Or I'm thinking Alchemist, where I like make alchemical objects and like appraise things and gossip with merchants. Navigating the bureaucracy, no, that doesn't. Navigating bureaucracy as someone who's trying to take down a system is very funny to me. Yeah, those are sort of the two I'm fixated on right now.
Okay. Let's have a look at what cleaners do.
Oh, but also Basher is good because instead of being really good at fighting, you're just really good at breaking things. Oh, it's like security. I see. Okay. Sorcerer's knowledge. You know about sorcery. Okay. I have a question. Is use sorcery specifically just about possessing animals, or is like I got weird sorcery I can use?
Usually what it'll say is the thing we'll actually have, this is for Weir, is probably for your character, mostly for
Yeah, you
You
can
know
use
about
sorcery,
sorcery,
to
but-
temporarily possess, manipulate. Okay.
Yeah, characters will have their specific things. Because there are other ones that use, like Magus.
Oh, like the Hexer or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
they'll basically tell you what you can use your stuff for. Because it's designed to basically try to get you all the stuff that you need up front.
Yeah. Alexa, any progress?
Not a fucking.
You can be a pallbearer. You can be a necromancer.
A full bearer's necromancers?
Yeah, they literally think that's just necromancy.
Full bearers. Death is merely a natural medicine. Oh, Jesus.
Uh-huh. Some wild stuff here.
Oh, fuck. I haven't played a necromancer in ages.
You want to do that then?
I'd have to be part of the grave diggers. And so the grave diggers. Hold on. Let me have a look at the grave diggers aesthetic.
Sure, sure. It's
I would love to be part of the Gravediggers, but I'm not digging the outfits.
There's too many good things in this game.
And the cool thing is, like, if you're together, since all those are on cards, you have like 2 of each. You just sort of pass them around the table,
Oh, cool.
and then people can kind of start looking at the things they want to take.
Mm-hmm. I might just do thief. Seems very useful. Might just do thief. Let's see.
I can see what you mean, how this is useful with more people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff with a lot of options, I picked up Invisible Sun. That game is nuts.
Is it?
Invisible Sun.
It looks. It comes in a 30-pound cube.
Oh,
Excuse me.
rude.
Look up Invisible Sun. You can look at it. It actually looks incredibly cool. There are a couple dumb decisions they made. I mean, certain things, like, they didn't want PDFs for most stuff. But
Jesus.
there are like, just reading through it, I'm like, this looks fucking awesome. Luckily, I got it cheaper than the full price, which is expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, is it kind of like demony and a bit noiry and
Well, it's surreal. You've essentially left the shadow, which is Earth that we know, and gone into the actuality. Like, everyone's a magic user, and like there's 4 different types of magic outside of just regular spells. Like, you can either be a Vancian, where you literally Tetris in your spells a little bit into stuff that uses the old D&D stuff, where you once it's cast, it's gone. That you can spend sorcery to keep it. Weavers create sorcery on the fly using a couple different threads that they have. I created one of those with alleyways and lust as the 2 threads, just to see what a character would be like. There's makers who make shit, and then there's the goetics who actually summon up demons, angels, or other entities.
I love this so much.
Like, it's cool as fuck, and I'm looking forward to being able to do something with it.
It reminds me that I kind of want to play Cult, but not really.
I kickstarted the newer version of Cult. I've not played it. I played a little bit of a play-by-post that fell apart.
I had a look just before it was like they had done anything with it, so I was gonna wait until it came out properly.
Yeah, Invisible Sun's definitely on my list of things I want to do. I've been trying to track down the original Kickstarter. They made a PDF of the character creation book. It's like everything else would be workable except like that's the one thing you'd want players to have. Like the rest of it could be workable without, but as I said, they made some dumb decisions. Yeah, I think I mentioned in the chat, it kind of feels like Unknown Armies if all of the players had ascended into the invisible clergy and found out it wasn't quite what they thought on the other side.
I mean, it's very like Plato's Cave, right? That's the shadow thing, like, or the dark, or whatever they called it.
In some
Like
respects.
moving from like the image of the thing to the thing.
Yeah, like in some respects, like it's just all sorts of a lot of weirdness, and it like you actually buy character arcs in it.
Huh. So
And-
kind of like Wulin
A little bit. Like you can do some cool stuff. Like if you decide, oh, I want a redemption arc. Well, you might decide to take a fall from grace arc if you haven't started there, and then the things that you're working towards are your character falling from grace, and that's the stuff that's being put in. And you can have a couple of those, and then there'll be kind of arcs for everybody too. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
So, Alexa, any closer to figuring it out?
I think I might go Magus,
Do you know
Right.
which?
which means that I have to be part of the circle.
Okay.
Oh, that's a fucked up class, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
Damn.
I don't know, but I always play mindfucky characters. God damn it.
I feel like if your gut led you to something, you should just stick with it, because otherwise we'll spend 3 hours and then we'll decide our classes and that'll be the session.
You know what? Fuck it. No, I'm going pallbearer. I don't want to play the mindfucky character again.
All right, cool. Pallbearer, sweet. So you're gonna be a necromancer. It's so much better.
Yeah,
So you-
so much better.
So you're Gravedigger?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so you conceal, intimidate, size people up. You can brawl. You can kind of break. Yeah, I guess I'm feeling probably thief then. Yeah, let's just do thief. I'm doing thief.
Let's have a look.
I want it's a lot of different things about stealing.
Cool. How are our powers gonna fucking mix together to do a job?
Well, I chose something that like you don't have any of those.
Yes, I don't.
Yeah, which is the point. Like I wanted
Okay.
something where we didn't double up too much.
Well, the cool thing is now that you've got those picked, one thing I might suggest doing is popping out those, and then just so you can kind of reference them.
What with them?
Like popping, like you can hit a little pop out on them. On the left, there should be a little thing that lets you. Pop
Oh
them
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
So they become a separate window. Like kind of keeping those handy will be useful.
Yes.
The other thing is you've got your character sheets. The biggest thing on those, two things. I go into attributes and abilities and click on where it says roles. I'd show that in your macro bar.
Oh, where's this in our?
So it's just below the. If you close specialization or specialties, it'll be each of you. You've got a character sheet with a name on it.
Ah,
Yes.
Okay.
Is it on the character sheet part or is it on the bio?
So I go to attributes and abilities.
okay.
Just go ahead, click on show and macro bar for roles.
Oh, okay. So Colton rolls.
So then that'll show down there. The other thing you get to have is actually, since you're both able to just go ahead and take them, because you got GM powers. If you want to, I will shuffle them. If you want to deal yourself 3 court cards and then choose one, I will refill my drink and be right back.
Court card.
I have
Are-
no idea.
Are
where
court
I'm
cards
supposed to
showing on the right for you?
Dusk quirks.
Yep.
So Draw
Quirks,
Or here,
draw
Liz,
3 of them. Okay.
I can deal them out to you if you want.
I don't know. I've never done cards. I don't
Oh, okay.
know how to do cards.
Here, let me.
Thank you. Sorry.
I've forgotten how many people I've actually had on this damn. All their names show up.
So where am I supposed to go for the
I've got them for you. Okay, so you now each have 3 cards down in the lower left-hand corner by your names. So you choose one of those quirks each, and then the other 2 you can delete. So those will be a little thing that you have.
I have to choose? No! Alright, go get your drink so I can yell at Lexa.
Oh, shoot, I accidentally stole a card from you. Or no, I think it's asking. If you can say no. I was going to click it and see if I could see it.
Oh! Hey, Lexa. Guess what I got?
Go on.
Someone else in the crew is a former lover, spouse, or paramour. Though the heat has cooled between you, sparks still fly.
Oh my god.
It would have to be you if we do it. My other 2 ones are really cool too. And also, this is our entire other campaign. But
This is our entire other campaign.
basically, mechanically, it's just like when I help you, it's better. And if you fail, then it is very bad. So maybe we don't do that one. I just thought it was so funny.
That's just like fate.
Yeah, I got a really cool one though. That's Object Reader. If you hold an object in your hands and concentrate on it for a short time, you can see that object's history and visions of people who owned or used it. You can even view the history of an interior room of a building by standing in it and reading its energy. That sounds really cool. Ooh. Or I'm an artisan, so like I have a trade or a craft.
I see.
They're both cool. I'm a fucking like slut for magic, so I'm gonna do the Object Reader. But
I have iron guts, which means that I take half damage from poison.
Mm-hmm.
I have Watcher in the Dark, which lets me see in the dark without any need of light.
That's pretty cool for like a pallbearer.
And also I have Diviner's Ear. If I know someone is lying, I instead hear them speaking over themselves in my head what the truth is.
Okay, so oh my god. That's so good.
But I have to know that they're lying.
That means, oh my god, that means I can never lie to you, and if I don't know about your power, and I ever lie to you.
When you know they're lying.
So, Mikael, you missed this. I got Old Flame, which is very funny given this group in our actual campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take it just because we're already doing that. That's our entire other campaign, but it was very funny. I think I got Object Reader or Artisan. I think I'm taking Object Reader because that sounds cool as fuck. Yeah, I'm going to take Object Reader. So, how do I discard the other cards?
I think you can just delete them or just pull them onto the.
Okay, they're on the table now, and then just delete.
Yeah. Delete.
All right, cool. And then my quirk, I can just have that in my hand over here.
Yeah, and if you're able to read rooms and stuff.
Yeah, if you hold an object in your hands and concentrate on it for a short time, you can see that object's history and visions of people who have owned or used it. You can even view the history of an interior room of a building by standing in it and reading its energy. Why did you give up to gain this sorcery? What is the worst thing you have ever seen when using it?
Cool.
What'd you wind up taking?
Diviner's Ear. So when somebody lies to you verbally and you know they are lying, you instead hear them speaking the truth that they are trying to conceal with their lie.
Oh, so you have to know they're lying.
Yes. I don't know how to know, like... Yes.
Interesting.
So it requires a bit more groundwork. Or I could just be like, yo, this is the most, like, obvious lie in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, your dog ate your homework? What really happened?
This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry.
Oh man! All right.
Okay. So you got each of those. If you just want to come up with some names, so it's like Samantha for Alexa.
That's left over.
Oh, that's from last time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you just want to come up with some names, if you want to put those for your, and maybe put your name in parentheses just so I remember who's who.
Yeah.
And then we are good to go.
Okay, wait. I need to figure out how to spell this. I'm on my bullshit. Did I spell it? I was close. All right, I'm Azalea.
I
Maggot.
am... I am Hetty.
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name.
Okay. So if you want to go ahead, just introduce your characters. You can describe them so we all have an idea of how you see them, and you will begin the job.
All right. Would you like to go first, or should I?
You can go first.
Okay. Azalea, I actually really like, if you look at the Wardens of the Night 1, I like the general, like the outfit. That's definitely their outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I think instead of the greens, it's like dark blues instead. Instead of like, I think actually it's probably used a little bit more like black and blue sort of outfit. They're they them. Their hair is like a dyed like cotton candy blue. They're short. They're like 5'5", 5'6". Yeah, and they got knives. They got lockpicks. They're a thief. I think they're like always like if they've got like a permanent smirk on that's hidden by the bandana. they're a little. They're very like kind of Aladdin-y. Kind of Aladdin-y.
Cool.
Aladdin's going to be a major inspiration for me here. Yeah, that's Azalea.
Okay, and for Hetty?
Literally Morticia Adams.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
a slightly older woman in like a tight a black dress that's not dissimilar to the one on Gravediggers 2, but it's more like it's less revealing than that. It's a lot more conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Black hair that goes like all the way down to like her thighs or something like that.
Oh yes.
Most of it is just straight black hair, but you can see and like very like random like braids of like varying length that sometimes they're like in the hair, sometimes they're like on the hair that go down with it, and it's just almost like it's like a tangle, but it's like very like well like prepared. It's not random at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like every like piece is thought out.
Nice. Okay. So, have the two of you ever worked together before?
Yeah.
Sure. It was a very, very weird mission.
Can we be like tea friends. Like, we love meeting for tea.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Do you come to my place?
Since I don't have... My place is my place, but it's not, Yeah, we meet at your place.
Well, like... Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I think I live in, like, an abandoned church tower in the outskirts of town or something.
Okay.
I think I stole you some good tea. You hired me once to steal you some good tea.
I say it's my place, but every time you've come over, it's been a different place.
Oh, that's so good. Oh,
And
God.
if you were to look into it, it's always the place of a recently deceased person.
Oh, my God. And every time I say, oh, I love what you've done with the place.
Thanks.
Oh, just something I...
You just
Yeah.
put blackout curtains up on every window.
Yeah.
Oh, are we on our
Like,
bullshit?
I treat it like perfectly like it's my house. I'm so utterly comfortable.
Well, the
Oh my
person's
God.
dead, so it's much easier.
Like, do not scuff the floor.
Okay, so if you'll notice on the map that's sort of on the right, so Dusk where you're at, is a city of canals. It's a city been built up over other cities that have fallen in the past. It's this bustling port city, tons of people going through it, people from all over the world. It's hugely cosmopolitan. So Tallow Road Cathedral is where you're meeting. It's in a slum area. It's way out of the way because you knew the job has to do with the Church of the Silver Judge, but the place you're going is, as far as you're aware, had pretty much been shut down, or hadn't really been used. So as you're going there, it's a rainy night. As you reach the cathedral itself, you can see some holes in the roof here and there. There are a couple prayer candles and such that you can see in some of the windows. A lot of them are boarded up. It's essentially like it looks pretty awful, and the main doors themselves look like they have been pried open. It's one of them's hanging practically off of its hinges. This place has not seen good days in a long time. What do you do? You know you're supposed to meet someone here for a job.
Okay.
I don't know how do you like. Give me a second. I'll check it out. I'm gonna just like go around the building. Peek inside. Look for any traces that did we beat our contact here? Are they already here? Are there any prying eyes around?
Okay. And just to sort of show this, you have like a sneaking skill or something along those lines?
I have a case the joint.
Hit case the joint and give yourself when you roll it, go ahead and add 2 advantage dice because, well, frankly, it's going to be fairly easy to sneak through.
What's the challenge pool?
So, there'll be a 0 for challenge.
0 for challenge. Ding. I got 56.
Okay. And your percentage on there, I'm assuming, is pretty high.
80.
Okay. And you got 1 advantage on there. So, like, something with the advantage, there's times you can use those for, like, extra info, for some plot twists, sometimes some little extra positives or sort of negatives. Here, you mostly sort of be able to get the drop is the wrong idea, but it's just, not only that, you're able to do a quick casing of it. This place has been abandoned for a long time, and you kind of sneak in through one of the areas. You kind of come in and you see there's a woman who is clearly a legate of the church who is down by the altar, very nervous. She's got some information with her, like a bit of a map spread out on the table. You can recognize that the map itself seems to be of one of the noble districts. As a matter of fact, there's like the the library, the Spire of the Mind, which is a place that you've sort of seen or a little bit aware of, has been circled on it.
Cool.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't notice you. She's sort of sitting there, and her eyes are on the door, waiting for one of you to come in.
Yep. I hop back to Hetty. We're good.
So you say we're at where? Tallow Road Cathedral, did you say?
Yep. Again, you're in a slum right now.
Okay, cool.
Church type. We're good.
Cool.
Okay.
Hetty walks in.
Yeah, I fell behind.
Okay. She pulls herself up a little bit, and you see the nervousness she had before sort of melt away as she puts herself into sort of business mode. As you come in, and there's a moment she just takes a look at you, and she's like, "You're all they sent."
Your character. Hold on, what the fuck's your character name?
Azalea.
Azalea. Azalea knows this, but Hetty has a lot of vivid, expressionate looks. So she she went in with a calm, sort of friendly-ish demeanor, and as soon as she went, "That's all you have," she gives the most disdainful look. You know, okay, Hetty hates this person now.
So one thing you can see that she is, and the one thing about the Church of the Silver Judge are often no joke. She's in her middle years. She's got there's several battle scars. You see some scars on her face. Her hands have taken some damage. She's missing most of one of her fingers. So this is someone she's seen some shit before in her day. But she goes, "Well, please come in," and she's nervously kind of watching the shadows.
I don't know if it's not enough, then we can just leave you here in the middle of the cathedral.
It's I had asked for two of their best. I'm sorry, I'd asked for some of their best, and then perhaps this will be easier with less people.
Yeah, lean against the wall.
So she moves towards you, I guess, because she's clearly nervous about saying anything too loudly. And comes towards the two of you. He goes, "What I need done. There are people in the church. There are sorcerers and Kabbalists who have, I believe, trekked with awful things. What I need is for you to get into the Spire of the Mind." And that's a library. For you to get into the Spire of the Mind and place a book in the Forbidden Stacks. There's very specific. It's a place where 6 different bookshelves meet. And I did a very special book placed there. If this is not done, There are people who are going to get information that should not be let outside of anything, forbidden, awful knowledge that will be revealed to those who will use it against others. So what I need is for all of that knowledge to be destroyed. Let me just double check real quick. Oh, I think I forgot to check. What does your character know about because of their? I forgot to check on your specialties. Because I think,
the knowledges we have, things you know about.
Yeah. Oh, I guess those ones don't necessarily add.
Yeah, mine aren't that applicable.
Okay.
Church, cemeteries, funeral parlors, ward houses, and medicine.
Yeah, so the one, I couldn't remember if your specialties gave you some other ones beyond that. The one thing you know is the church itself keeps a lot of. There's a lot of knowledge it considers to be blasphemous and evil, and one of the things it does is that when it finds those things, it takes them and keeps them. You are not entirely sure where this had happened before, but it seems like at least some of them are maybe up in the Spire of the Mind. Okay, the pallbearer, you also know about sorcery, and I'm going to make a note of that. And thief, you know about security systems. Excellent. Let me make a note of those.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the things it does for the adventurers is it literally will label, it's like, here are the important things for it. And it'll say, if you know about this, here's some stuff that you will know. If you know about this, then you'll know some of these things off the hook. So to start with, the Forbidden Stacks. This is something that, Hetty, you're going to be pretty aware of. The Spire of the Mind itself has several different floors. Some of the floors, like the bottom ones, are essentially for common people. You've got some in the middle that like merchants will use, and the upper ones are the nobles. But there are some windowless floors up at the top that a lot of people think are mostly just decorative. Those are the Forbidden Stacks. And there is all sorts of magical books and such that are kept up there, all sorts of blasphemous information. You've heard summoning demon rituals, all these things, but it's preserved in case they're needed for something. So you know that those are something that are going to be up there in that part of it. And you also know getting up there is not going to be particularly easy.
Who do they let up there?
That's one of those things is you're not entirely certain.
Okay.
And the other thing, Azalea, you'll know this. I believe. Let me double check. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is still Hetty. You do know that there is Melliflua Pterioditis, who's a woman in her sort of mid-50s, who is essentially the person who runs the like she's the administrator of at least parts of the library. You think she may have something to do with the actual Forbidden Stacks. For a lot of people, it's essentially considered that's where she might be. People have not actually seen her in a very long time.
Okay, and what does this woman ask us to do? There's a book in or there's several books in the stacks that...
Yeah. She's like, there's a book, there's an especially alchemically treated book that I'm going to need you to place. There's a place where 6 bookshelves come together up in the forbidden sections. What it will do is essentially, well, it'll take care of the problem.
I shrug. All right. A book somewhere. Got it.
The problem is the book, I can't... This is not something I can have made until it's used. It requires about 2 days to be created. If we can't get this... If we cannot get this place within... 1, 2, 3... But in 6 days, at that point, I believe it's going to be... That information is going to be given out to other people, and they'll know things they shouldn't, and terrible things may happen because of it. So we need this done within 6 days. If I've not heard from you on the 4th, I will check with you and have the book created. It takes, as I said, about 2 days to get the book ready. You just need to let me know.
Is there a reason why it hasn't been pre-made? I mean, is it...
The book itself eats knowledge.
I see.
It's called the Tome of Corruption. If it's created now, it'll end up, well, destroying anything around it. But eventually, it runs out of power. But what it will do is it will take all of the things that are being kept on those bookshelves and reduce them to blank pages.
That's dope.
So goes,
all right.
It's an alchemical treatment. It's not a legal alchemical treatment, but
Or like fake gasp.
I would not be doing this if it weren't. People's lives and souls are in danger. I can't let this go.
Hetty has the smallest smile on her face because of Azalea. She says, "Do you know who has access to those stacks?"
Melliflua Traiditis is the one in charge of those stacks. As far as I'm aware, she's one of the only people who has who actually has the ability to go within those stacks. Her and her handpicked guards. Others higher up might be able to go in, but I don't know who all has been pulled into this conspiracy.
And you said this would the woman whose name I'm never going to remember. She hasn't been seen in a while.
Yeah. I do suggest possibly, like, you might be able to put notes somewhere. That's not a terrible idea, to write down a couple things.
What was the name?
Melliflua. Melliflua. There's like a place you can put some notes on the page if you want, so you've got them. Trioditis. Trioditis. She's not seen very often. She kind of keeps to herself.
And she might know how to get into the Forbidden Stacks.
She's the one who actually is in charge of the Forbidden Stacks.
In charge of them. Oh.
She'll be the best person to probably go to. Well, I don't trust her, but she's the one who's able to get in there.
All right. Sounds good.
Any other questions? There are two other things. And this ends up being something where, especially if you run it for... One of the things you can do is if you run it for a while, you actually can gain experience points specifically with various organizations. So she's like... She tells you, there's a rare tome called Unorthodox Methodologies for Alchemical Analysis. I've been told that if that's something you can get, it'll make it harder to trace this tome itself. And a specific scroll, True and Verified Genealogy of House Montalban, from the Noble section. This is, and she kind of hands you like a slip of paper that's got that information. You recognize the writing of your broker.
Cool. Okay.
So what does the book and scroll for?
These are things your broker would like to have. I'll go ahead and write them in between the judges and the rules reference. Let me move this over. So what he wants you to find is
And these are also in the stacks.
The first one should be in the Forbidden Stacks. The other one, the True and Verified Genealogy of House Montalban, should be in the Noble section. Here, I put it by the getting the job done. Those are the other two things that they would like you to find.
I don't see. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I moved on the getting. It's right by the planning section of getting the job done.
All right, cool.
She goes, if there's nothing else, and she looks a little nervous, like she's ready to leave.
I think we're good.
Okay. So the way this works at this point, you have a free planning session. So what happens is, this is night right now. This one won't count for... Actually, let me move some of this around. This won't count for the day-night cycle, because you've got... For each day and each night, like, you start accumulating heat. Heat are counters, which I will end up sort of putting on, and I can spend those for some various things to happen. It's just... the police looking into things. You generate heat if things go sort of wrong. I think you can actually look up on the top part. You'll see things that generate heat. Crew member spends a scene in an area where you're conspicuous. Bystander witnesses a crew member overtly committing a crime. You leave behind evidence. The different things will build up heat, and those can get spent to bring in minor, major complications and plot twists, and then specific things for that job. So the first one, but you get a free, and this is evenings. You get a free planning session, where one of the things you start doing is you decide here's the things you want to do, and these tend to go fairly quickly. When like you go to the legwork session, like sections after that, usually that's on the next like day to night, for example, like so it'll be like in the day. So then you can go do that to get the information that you're looking for, and so then you can kind of either come back to a planning, or if you know there's another thing, you can go straight into another legwork after that. And each player can get a legwork action thing that you do. So one of the things now is just deciding what kind of things you think you need to be looking into, what information do you think you're going to need, and then you go and look into it.
Sure. I mean, it's always like, well, $2, two of us. I'll get one, you get the other.
Oh, remember that's also I'll put the other thing too. It's placing the book
where the 6 shelves meet is the ultimate goal.
Yep.
But the orthodox methodologies will help make it so
it's a little harder to find.
It's a little hard to find, correct.
Or maybe if I move it up here, then I'll change the color.
And what's the genealogy for?
These are like occasionally what'll happen is your broker will I put it up above the day-night cycle stuff, made it white so it's easy to see. The broker will often send like little things that you can do. These things help you get like a little bit extra out of it, plus it also means they can kind of count on you. It probably means he has a reason that he can use that to make some money or something off of it.
Oh,
so these are essentially extras that they're not vital, but if you happen to be able to do them, the broker who set all this up, who part of the money goes to, would like this to be done, and you get a little bit of extra out of it. In game terms, like you would get a there's XP and such you get that you can end up spending for stuff.
Mm. Well, want to get the chores out of the way, Hetty?
Yes. I mean, you getting into places seems far easier than me getting into places. I remember that time a couple months ago when you were in the house before I had even opened the door.
Yeah, you got held up, big scary robes, oh, my son has the fever, are you coming for him next? Yeah, that was a fun one to listen to.
So, how am I going to get inside? That's the main thing. Unless you want to do this all yourself.
Or, like, part of it, you've got, like, the 6 days to also get information. Like, a lot of it's getting information and preparing stuff is a lot of the stuff you do. And then the actual, like, when you pull the heist, when you do the actual thing is often not necessarily the very last day, but I mean, it's usually the end of the job where you're like, okay, now we have all the stuff to do it. So part of it is finding out the things you need to find out, getting prepared the things you need to prepare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, how about this? I'm going to look into the unorthodox methodologies, and you're going to find yourself a disguise.
Oh, good. Yes.
Alrighty. Know any booksellers?
There's other library. Well,
the library.
Yes.
You think a book like this will be in the library? I mean, I could check the library.
Wait,
It'll be in the Spire of the Mind.
Oh, both of the books are going to be in the Spire?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
They're in there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
so misunderstood.
Oh,
I thought
sorry,
there were
yeah,
things
it's-
he wanted us to get beforehand.
Oh no, it's basically like while you're in there.
Oh my
if you
god,
could
that
get
makes so
these
much more
things.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Let's work on getting you a disguise. That way you'll be a little bit less, bring out your dead when we're, by the Spire. Don't worry about me. I can get in. And then, I guess you'll need some church clothes. Like,
What's not to enjoy about this outfit? You seem to scorn me every time you bring it up.
listen, the form, wonderful. I just think, you just need one splash. You just need an accent. That's an accent is all you need. Even just like, a flower in your breast pocket. Just something to break up
Useless color.
One of these days, you're going to paint your nails and you're going to thank me for it. Not black.
Yeah, she's just like looking at her black nails right now. Okay, so we need a disguise, possibly of the church. We need to find out. Well, it would be better to find out who is allowed in the stacks first.
I mean, we could try and find out where Mellifluous is, Let's just go straight for the source. Find where she lives, I'll slip in, have a little talk.
That's very true.
Well, we do that.
Find out where she
Okay.
is.
So what
All right,
will happen,
yeah.
what will happen now is basically each of you will decide this is what you're doing for your legwork, and then the other person can be involved and help on those. Like if there was more people here, each person would be able to be a part of someone else's legwork, or everybody's legwork possibly. Though you can end up choosing to show up in other ones if you weren't originally going to be part of them. But so it sounded like Hetty, you're going to try to find out like where she lives,
Yes.
and then Azalea was going to try to break in.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll now go to the first bit of legwork. So where do you want to go to try to find out more about her and where she lives?
I want to try, because this looks real fucking cool, I want to try and do a seance.
Okay.
Going straight for it.
I think you can also do that just like during a legwork scene, right? Oh, during an influence. Okay.
Spend one influence to get information on a topic as though I had just done the legwork.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and spend your influence. So this will actually, like, this won't be your legwork scene, but this will be information like you had done a legwork scene. Okay, so
Okay.
I put an influence in your... I dealt one out to each of you, so you can go ahead. There's also one that you have that I put up above that is for the party.
Okay.
Where did you put those?
So there's one in your...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I put one there. You can just delete that one. And there's also one I put up above getting the job done that is for the party. So, so you have to let me know how you think the ghost will be able to help you, or a spirit.
Cool.
Like, who are you-
So the way this works is that Hetty has a sideline where she entertains people who want to want to be spooked or like speaks to the dead at any point, and like she puts on this totally like fake, shoddy, over the top performance that everyone like wants and like moves stuff. But under the scenes, it's actually working.
Mhm.
But it's not as impressive as everyone wants it to look like. So, like, she says, "Oh, there's a ghost here, etc., etc." But she spent time calling like a random ghost, and she's like, while she's doing it, she sends the name, Mellifluous Triaditis,
Okay.
out into like the ether of ghostdom, wherever the fuck that is.
Wait, you're calling on a live person's ghost?
No. She's putting the name out and seeing if it resonates with any.
Oh, like
Okay,
that's
yeah,
the
basically,
bait.
yeah, try
You're
to...
catch a ghost fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do ghosts appear? Do they appear physically to you, or to other people, or is it just like a voice?
I think they appear to her, but only because she's a pallbearer.
Okay.
So other people can't see it, but like, it does have like an effect on like physical stuff might move and stuff like that. But it's not nearly as impressive as like the stuff she's got on strings that are flung
Yeah.
about and stuff.
So Azalea, like, it gets a little colder in the room that you're in. And Hetty, you see in front of you, it's ghosts often show up with, like, if there's wounds, how they died, you'll see those. Like if they died like in their sleep, they'll look whole, stuff like that. This one's weird. There's a man who shows up, kind of burly, looking at you. There's one sort of dull eye. The other one, it's almost like his head is sort of Swiss cheesed a little bit.
Oh fuck!
I mean, there's almost like perfect chunks just sort of taken. You've never seen something like this. It's not a physical thing, but there's something very weird. When you ask about Melliflua, Melliflua has not left the Forbidden Stacks in many years. The very few times she was called out, she would lock down everything. But beyond that, she lives in the dark. She stays there. She talks to things.
Have you been into the stacks?
I worked there for a time. And there's he starts to fade out.
Fuck. So that's all the information I'm gonna get, or
Yeah.
okay.
So you find out where she's at, but and there's other weirdness, stuff you've not seen before.
Yeah. Well, she's seen like a lot of ways for people to die.
You've never seen something like this.
She's never seen that one, so it's
Like
oh, that's a new one to add to the collection.
Yeah, you've seen all sorts of things. The
Sweet.
closest match to it is occasionally when someone is killed in a very weird way through sorcery. But even then, it's not quite like this. This is something new.
Worked in the stacks. Knows Triaditis. Oh, let's hope she isn't a powerful sorceress.
That'd be nice, huh? I think so. Like when it started getting cold, I like made myself tea in the corner.
Do people who work at did that person have a unit? What were they wearing? Do the people who work in the stacks have a uniform or anything?
You notice he was sort of wearing like what a guard would wear. There's like a light leather sort of armor or something with him. Like nothing too. Something you can still move in and not be totally uncomfortable in, but
yeah. So she's stuck in the. She's remaining in the stacks, and the last time she was ever called out, she shut down everything.
she would lock the Forbidden Stacks down.
Yes.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming you can get anywhere that's locked down.
I mean, sure, probably. Like, I don't know if it's like magic, then we'll need a lockpick. If it's a magic lock, then they can just make the lock goo, and you can't pick goo. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll need to bring someone in. I don't know. I mean, we can check out. I can go and check out the main door, see how. But that's just the main door, I feel like we're not going to know until we get there, and that's a bummer.
So having it all locked down is probably not a good idea.
I mean, wait, you said that they said that lockdown when she left, not while she was there?
Yes.
So maybe she's like, "Oh, I'm enough security. I have a big name. Ooh, and it'll be fine."
She does have guards there.
Guards, yeah, sure, but like, I just mean like literally getting in. Like once we're in, like there's a force field or some bullshit. Like, not fun.
Yes.
Like, could you take care of something like that, or do we need to bring someone in? Like,
I could probably talk to someone about getting something to bypass.
like a talisman or some shit, in case there's some sort of disenchantment.
Yes.
All right, cool. You want to do that? I can.
What were you working on again?
Well, I was gonna break into wherever she lived, but but up.
God knows where that is.
Well, we do. It's in the Spire. She's in the stacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm not.
I would have thought she had an empty manor house, which, if she does, we could just rob that place over and over again.
Yeah, because money just regenerates. That's how it works.
Well, the one thing you're aware of, Hetty, just because you know stuff about the church, is that essentially she's not really been seen in high society. She used to be part of high society, but then gave up to become a young administrator, and basically is almost never seen out in public, and seems to almost have aged prematurely. The very few times she has come out.
Right, I'll work on getting a talisman or whatever, and you work on whatever you want. You can just sit here and drink tea if you like.
Or I could go and check out the Spire outside, see what their security's like.
Also that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So you're going to check out the Spire, and then Hetty, what are you going to check out?
Talk to someone I know to hopefully possibly get a something to deal with, like wards. I guess it would be a ward, like something that would either like make alarm or like a magical barrier. If there is one, just in case we want to be able to get through.
Possibly, you might want to, because like a lot of those, the one thing you know about those things is a lot of times you kind of need to know specifics about what they are, because there are a lot of different types of wards. There's alchemical stuff. There's stuff that's pure magic. Sometimes things will be like, this is one where sorcery and alchemy, like alchemy is actually used quite a bit. A lot of it's fairly mundane in some respects, but there's a lot of different ways that people can use things. So finding out more specifically what might be there will be a little more important.
So maybe I go and see, at least at the very basic level, in the Spire. Like, would legwork count? Like, where does legwork end and the heist begin when it comes to like the Spire? Because part of it is the secret stacks.
So the big thing with legwork is you basically have a single thing like you are trying to find out. It can become a dramatic scene if you're kind of going through more stuff. It can kind of become bigger, more stuff can happen. But part of it's designed so that it goes relatively quickly of getting the stuff that you need, the information that you need, or things arranged until you get to the big heist sort of at the end. So a lot of the legwork scenes will go relatively fast.
Okay. I would just love to find out, do we need outside help to get into this place? Am I enough?
Okay. Yeah, so you're checking out the Spire itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing you can do, you got second story work. I will say, so as you sort of head over towards the Spire, so at this point it's during the day, but you also know how to sort of get up in places. You're fairly good at all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that you do see that there's a hatch, like on the very top of the Spire on the 7th floor.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you probably go and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you know some ways up and kind of over. You manage to climb up there. This thing has not been open in a very, very, very long time. It might be possible to force it open. It's going to create a lot of noise to do so. So I said, getting up there is not too hard. Well, for you, it'd be hard for somebody else. But the thing is, if you try to force it now, you don't know what all you'll be kind of calling to it. But do you want to check out stuff in the stacks itself? Or in the library itself?
No, like I don't think I want to crack into the actual like forbidden stacks.
Well, there's also the floors below it.
Oh, the not forbidden stacks.
Yeah, so the bottom floors are, you know, that the very bottom floors are essentially like commoners can use. Then getting up above that usually requires merchants and other stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna check it out.
Okay, so one of the things you have second story work. You can you can find your way into any building in the city of any floor you choose. Now, the one thing you actually will not be able to get into the forbidden stacks unless you force your way in through the top because there are no windows or anything for those ones. But there are the ones for the nobles or for the merchants or the commoners. Which one do you want to sneak your way into?
Probably the rich folk, like that's closer
Could
to
you
the
get
forbidden
the scroll
stack.
now? Because the scroll's going to be in the noble place.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be,
To be in the high split.
yeah. Finding it will take a little bit of time.
Just a second. My doctor's office has called me like 2 times in a row now, so I should probably pick up.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
one second.
usually a thing to check.
Hello?
While he's doing that, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
No worries.
All right, I'm back. All good.
Hello.
Hello.
Mikhail's just gone to the bathroom.
Okay, I'm gonna refill my water real quick.
No worries.
And I'm back. Take Colton still away.
Hello. He came back, but he's just gone to get some water.
Okay,
I had an idea, kind of.
sweet.
Okay, I'm back.
Cool.
I had an idea.
Okay.
Yep.
What if I go in there, pretending like I was given the news that Melliflua had died, to see to her body? At
Uh-huh.
the very least, it would cause enough of a distraction because, like, the person that I talk to is either going to have to go see, in which case you can follow after them in your sneaky ways,
Uh-huh.
or Melliflua is going to come out, or it's at least going to create an opening for you to possibly get inside.
Well, on the one hand, you'll know, like, you know some ways to get inside.
Yes.
That's the part of the special ability of the thief is you can get into any building on any floor.
Automatically.
So Azalea would just be able to get into the room sneakily.
Yeah, so that part won't be a problem on this one. Now on
Getting
Lake,
in isn't the problem, it's what's there when we're in this scary magic forbidden library is the
Getting in would
problem.
be super easy. So me getting in, like, getting me in would almost be detrimental.
No, I need you in there to deal with like the magic shit that's gonna be in there.
well,
'Cause I
remember
don't
too,
know shit.
this is legwork and finding stuff out. This is not the actual breaking in part. I mean, they're breaking in to find out stuff, but this isn't the go for it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm literally just like, since I'm so good at getting this stuff, I'm gonna scout ahead so that I can prepare to get you in here.
Basically,
So I'm gonna check out the noble section because it's closest to the Forbidden Library, and I might be able to pick up a book on the way there. I don't know.
yeah, the way all of these are set up is designed like there's a lot of information and stuff you need to find out first, or things you need to get set up before you actually sort of go into it.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to kind of like make your way down, like climb down part of the the outside, and there's a window that has been left a little bit open to let some air in. And as you're sort of looking in, there's nobody in this opulently decorated room. You let yourself in, and you're sitting there, and like there was a fire that had been going for a while, but someone put it out, which means they're sort of gone. There are sort of liquor bottles and such. This is like a meeting place. Like one thing is you notice there's really no books in this room. You're in a library. This part of it, like where the nobles are, do not seem to be for that. As you sort of head towards the door, do you kind of take a look out what's outside of it?
Yeah.
Okay, you sort of look through. There are stacks, like, kind of going throughout. Do me a favor. Go ahead and roll a, just your case to joint. I will say, right now, there are some guards walking about. So go add one disadvantage die.
So zero advantage, one disadvantage.
Yeah, one challenge die.
Zero advantage, one challenge. Okay. Bop. Another 56.
You're good. Yeah, as you're looking out and sort of checking things out, you see that there's some guards going through. You see a couple nobles talking, making their way down one side of it. Do you stay in the doorway, or do you kind of head out and check things out?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of head out, and you're sort of sneaking through the stacks for a bit, and you hear some people talking. Do you have some sort of is there like a perception thing for you?
Case the joint, distract, sneak around.
Case
the joint.
Yeah, make another case the joint roll, but go ahead and add the one challenge die to it.
Zero advantage, one challenge. Bop. 4.
Damn, son. Okay, you do notice as there's two of them like head towards one of the rooms. They're sort of talking. One of them turns and reaches into the stacks. You can't quite see which, because of where you're at. You can't quite see like what it grabs, but pulls on something, and then the door behind you hear a click behind those two, and then the other one like clicks a door, and then you see the one who had reached into the stacks let something go, and then the two of them head inside the room.
Yeah, I like wait a few beats, and then I like walk over to where they were. I'm trying to figure out what they pulled.
Okay.
Without actually pulling it.
Yeah, you let kind of a guard go past, and you're sitting there, and you're like kind of like looking through some of them, and then you find you're kind of going through and slowly sort of you're pulling just enough to see if you can feel a little bit of a give that's not like the pressure between the two books. You find one of them partway through.
Awesome. I would love to read this object to see who's been using this door.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, what is your thing that you do again?
If you hold an object in your hands and concentrate on it for a short time, you can see that object's history and visions of people who have owned it or used it. You can even view the history of an interior room. So I guess that's more what I'm doing.
Okay.
Of a building by standing in it and reading its energy.
Okay, so you're sort of holding it for a second. You see that
I have to roll for it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, make your roll.
Is it just 0-0? Or how does this work?
It'll be the same thing, but go ahead, because guards are walking by on occasion, and you have to make sure that's not add one challenge die to it.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
Okay, so what's the thing you have to roll for that?
80.
Okay. Yeah, as you're kind of, the thing is, you get hit with so many different things, like the amount of people that have come through and used this, like nobilities, nobles, all of them, but you can't quite get a clear thing because so many are going, and then there's a point when you have to essentially like squeeze into like between a couple of the stacks as some of the guards go by, and the guards are sort of like bored and walking through, like they've kind of got their little the little path that they take on occasion. Like, it's because not a lot come up here, they're allowed to be bored, which is actually for you often a good thing.
Yeah.
Also, these are often the more experienced, the ones that are paid more, because they like to show that to the nobles. But yeah, so what do you do?
I think the thing to do is to just like don't fuck with anything, right? Like, oh god, it's crowded now. I didn't get a good look at this. Like, I've made it this far by knowing when to cut. This is when you cut.
Okay, so you head back out the way you came.
Yeah, head back out the way I came.
Hey, you go to the door, but the door is locked. And you look you look around. There's the bookshelf, but you do not see the same book. It must be a different one.
Don't like that. Do I have lockpick? Okay, I can pick this lock.
Okay.
Right, I can pick it.
Yeah. Oh.
Or is it like on a like? Is it like there's not a lock?
There's not a lock. It's the same thing that you saw before. Basically, it's like the thing is because you know about security systems. It seems like for this, it only really makes sense if maybe this is for the noble section. Like you wouldn't necessarily have it for the rest of them because too many people can come and go. Nobility, they at least stay in the family. To get into these places, there are books that they must probably have to pull. Your thing is trying to find that book before a guard comes by.
Yep, I'm trying to find that book.
Okay, go ahead, roll case the joint and add 2 because it'll take a little bit of time. So go ahead and add 2 challenge dice.
Whoo! Made it.
But well, you made that, but you also gained 2. So if you see the challenge dice, you've got the 2 challenge symbols on there. So what I'm going to do with that now, you're going to be building up some heat, sort of regardless, just because you're. It's one of the things that happens each round anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use both of those to increase the amount of heat by 2. So like basically someone sort of sees you as you finally find it. You're, hey, are you? And then one of the I need the 5. One of the guards is heading your way as I'm assuming you like get your ass out the window.
Yeah, I'm just fucking going.
Yeah, you sort of head through and are out. So it's going to cause some suspicion. So I'm going to pull some more heat, which I am putting up towards the top of the page. These are things I will be able to use since you rolled 2 of them. I'm going to pull 4 heat for those. And then we go. So you have found out some stuff about the noble section at least. Hetty, what are you doing for your legwork?
I have no fucking clue.
Think of what are the things you think you need to find out?
See, I have sorcerer's knowledge. So if I was there or near there, maybe to like find out if I need if there are wards or stuff that we need to fucking get through.
Okay, so you're basically going to go in the library to see what you can find magically.
Yeah, which if I'm not in the fucking can you describe the way into the forbidden area? So the library,
the thing is you've never been up there. Like, do you basically go to the library itself?
But yes, I want to see is there a big set of stairs that go the way up, but there's a velvet rope that people aren't allowed through.
Okay.
Go up there.
So for this one also, and also this is one where Azalea, you'll also be able to let me know because you can both be a part of each other's legwork scenes. It just didn't make sense for Hetty to be with yours since you were second storying it. So you know that there's an entrance to the library that it's very quickly you can just by heading there you can see regular people kind of coming in and out. You occasionally see some merchants and nobles also head their way in, people who have sort of more money and such. But regular folk are also making their way inside and going in to do things.
Well, I do casually.
The what?
I will casually walk inside.
Okay. So when you walk in itself, the library itself is the Spire of the Mind. As you sort of are looking, going through and looking around, There are 2 floors that are sort of open to everybody. When you get to a place where there are where everyone's going, that there are several guards that are hanging out at a post that have stairs that ascend through a silver arch up to the 3rd floor. And you see some people, both that are merchants and nobles, occasionally heading in there, and they check with the guards and then make their way up. Go ahead and make a... Or actually, if you want to do something more specific, you at least make sort of a notice check, or you can do something else. And if you actually look at your pallbearer, there's not a bad idea of something to use there.
On my skills bit, or
You've definitely got a skill that will help.
use sorcery, conceal objects, intimidate. There are several things there. Are you saying that I could just use sorcery to detect, or?
Well, I'm saying you're seeing merchants and nobility go up there.
Oh, gossip with merchants.
Yes. I took a look. I'm like, oh, that would be super useful.
That's very true. So I guess I could start up a conversation and just start gossiping about who gets to go upstairs, and just being like, get people to like brag about being like, oh yeah, no, I can go up there because I'm an awesome person.
Oh yeah.
And they yeah.
So you see Jonathan Treeweather, a merchant that you have maybe met before. Are you sort of talking about going up there just to find out information?
Yeah, I want to find out, like. Yeah, I guess I just start with that. Yeah.
Okay, make a straight
Just
roll.
being like,
Make a normal roll here.
just trying to like stroke his ego.
Okay, make a normal roll. No advantage or disadvantage here. No advantage or challenge.
How do I make a roll?
So, did you on your character sheet? What I would do is go, if you open up the character sheet and in the attributes and abilities, just put show and macro bar for rolls.
Oh, okay.
That'll be on the bottom. You can just click that and it'll take you through.
Cool. No advantage?
No advantage or challenge.
Oh, that's bad. Or is it? What
No,
you're...
It's 65.
Oh, cool.
You're good. Yeah, so as you're sort of talking about going upstairs.
Yeah.
He goes, when did you get your key? You have your key with you, of course.
Fuck. What the fuck would Morticia Adams say? Fuck, I have no idea what to say.
Speaking of Morticia, have you ever seen the thing where they talk about basically Morticia and Gomez are like the perfect like kinky couple? Like,
oh, yeah,
like everything they're doing is like how a healthy relationship
yeah.
goes through. Because, well, they're not going to let you up. I've never seen you up on any of those floors.
Oh, fuck. Well, I guess I succeeded. So I think she smiles and says, oh, I've been taken up there before by the right kind of gentleman.
By the right kind of gentleman, I suppose. Well, unfortunately, I've got some business I'm to attend to. Speaking with a few members of the council up there. So it is very good to see you, Hetty.
Oh, moving up in the
Well,
world,
does he know you as Hetty or something else?
Yeah, Hetty works.
Okay. It's very good to see you. He kind of like pulls out a key and kind of holds it up. It's like, you know, if you had the money, you'd be able to buy one yourself.
I bet there's all juicy kind of secrets up there.
Uh,
But I'll
quite
let you
a-
get to it.
Good to see you. And then he takes off.
Cool. Azalea!
Yes.
We need keys.
Okay, so this sounds like we're probably at a point to go to another planning stage.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will do. Now the thing is basically you're in the noble district, so you're both conspicuous. So I've added more heat because it normally be just one heat per player, but because you both are conspicuous in noble districts, that's a total of 4 heat for those.
Fantastic. We
So
still
I now have 8,
sorts.
which I'm able to use later on.
Amazing.
Mhm.
So you have your nighttime planning session.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you can get in, no problems asked. But if I had a key, I could get up into the noble section.
Yeah, they're talking about the books, Hetty. The books. The books are the keys.
You did see a physical key in John's hand that he held up, but he's not a noble.
But that did allow him to get upstairs.
Yep.
So, like, for example, if Hetty watched him walk off to the guards
He showed
Did
them
he
the key
show-
as he went in.
and the guard's name up.
They wrote down his name and he showed them the key and then he headed up.
Okay. But what were you saying about a book?
I mean, okay, so he had like a key, not like just a book.
Yeah, he had a
Yes.
physical key, like a
Showed
regular
the
key.
And then
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was talking to Hetty.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're good. Okay,
Yes.
so I guess we need a key and a book key.
So what's this about a book?
Okay, so like they got bookshelves, right? And then you take a certain book out, and that's how the doors work. Like from what I could tell, it wasn't as simple as just like a pressure plate. Like like it wasn't just a pressure plate.
It's essentially the book that you ended up pulling was attached to part of the shelf. So like when you pulled it, it was a lever essentially.
Oh, so it is attached to the shelf. You cannot
Yes.
remove the book.
It is attached to the shelf.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know one of them to pull. I kind of got stuck on the way out for a little bit, but like, I know them now. We're fine. We're fine now. But there's a lot of people there. Like I thought it was quiet at first, but people showed up.
So you're saying that one of the Okay, so the noble section goes up to the forbidden section.
Yeah.
And presumably the way to get up into the forbidden section is to open one of those book doors. Maybe.
Yeah. That seems right, but like I mean, I saw people go up. I figured out a way to go up. I don't know if that's going to the forbidden for sure. Like there could be a little like, like on a sandwich, like I was at like the meat, maybe they're going to like the lettuce and we want to get to the bread. I don't know if there's lettuce or not,
She spends a moment just looking at Azalea and then just says, "You are so cute."
Oh, thank you. Flip my hair. I know. So, yeah, like it goes up, and like if it's just finding the right book, then I'm quick. I can pull books really quick if we don't mind making a mess. But if we don't want to make a mess, then it'll be slow.
So, okay, so maybe the next step is to get me a key so I can go upstairs and join you,
Yeah.
and then we find out where the door to the forbidden place is.
I mean, like, again, I found a place going up. I
Yes.
could try to get back in there and go up it, but like they caught me on the way out. So like they're gonna be on the lookout. I don't know how many times I want to go in and out of there.
Well, if you were to get me a key and they haven't seen me before, so I could go searching, perhaps?
If yeah, okay. You find out where a key is. I'll get you that key.
Okay.
If you can't get it yourself. So why don't you figure that out first, then we'll see what I need to do. How's that sound?
Okay.
Because I don't know where you're getting a key. You play with a different crowd than me. I don't know.
You could just pickpocket it off a wealthy person. Isn't that what what you do?
Yeah, who's the wealthy person? Like, maybe I don't. Do they all have keys, Hetty? Is that what you're telling me? Like, oh, you wear a fancy embroidered vest, therefore you have a
I
key.
mean, you could. What we could watch and see who comes downstairs, and then.
That's a really good point, huh?
I'll remind you, you know one of the people with a key.
I do. Steven or whatever the fuck his name was.
Are you
Jonathan
good friends with
Treeweather.
him? How much do you care about him? Because I don't.
He didn't finish the entire cup of tea, so.
Okay, I'm taking his key. Let's go.
Cool.
Tea-based morality system. Take note. Fucking
Listen,
BioWare. Not Paragon and Renegade. Did you drink all of your tea? Did you not drink all of your tea?
Didn't finish all of Hetty's tea. No,
Put in milk or
okay,
sugar?
listen.
Minus.
Son of a bitch!
Doesn't matter if
God.
he lives or dies anymore.
God. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna steal this dude's key.
Okay, so that'll be your legwork. And Hetty, what are you doing for your legwork scene?
Can I wait until I get the key and then like my legwork be in the noble area?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then like basically search the noble area for the new door upwards.
Okay. So, you'll be looking for stuff in there. One of the things that can happen here, so we'll start with azaleas, of course. Will make more sense here. And remember, a Hetty can be you can be a part of each other's legwork scenes if it makes sense. So one of the things you have to do is if you're breaking into his house, he's a merchant. He's got like a guard who sort of hangs out and watches his stuff because his home is above his store. So the storefront that he owns, he sells like some basic alchemical products and does fairly well on those. A lot of things are used to help build things and then like make things a little bit safer. So he's got one guard there, so that will be an obstacle that's there. And then it'll also be breaking into the house and making sure that nobody else, or the house upstairs, making sure that no one is in there. So those are like the two obstacles you've got. So Azalea, you can handle those yourself, or Hetty might be able to help with like one of those while you do something else.
Would it be easier if I were to be like having a dinner date with him or something? And then like while he's distracted you search the place, or
How attached do you think he is to his key? Because, like...
I don't know.
Like... Yeah, I guess, like... Oh, is he, like... Does he have any partners? Does he live with anyone?
I mean, that doesn't matter.
He's he's single.
He's single. Perfect. All right, dinner date it is. Because even if he does have the key on them, then he's eating nom 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 nom, and I'll just sneak up behind, get the key, get a croissant, whatever. It's all good.
Sneakily take a croissant off the table.
Yeah, these rich fuckers, they make like a dozen croissant when they have just two people over, and they're like, oh, my stale croissant, and then they like throw them out. It's a waste of food.
Oh, so do you want to have them like have dinner at his place while you're sneaking in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't even realize that like the other way could be a thing until you said that. I just, of course, Hetty's going to barge in and be.
God, it'd be so funny. What was that over there? Nothing.
Yeah, and Hetty's just watching me like pocket biscuits off the table behind him. That's how this is going to go.
I can't remember if it's thief 1 or 2, but at one point you can actually steal food in front of someone who's eating.
Oh, beautiful.
All right.
That's good.
All right, so Hetty, your part of your thing is essentially going to be trying to distract him and keep him going as you go over. It's like he's very, very glad to see you. He's like, Hetty, so good to see you. I was very surprised that you called. or that you not called. Very surprised that you wanted to come for dinner, but I'm very happy.
Well, seeing you at the library reminded me of how long it's been since we've last spoken, so I thought it a perfect time.
Certainly. Tea, coffee?
Tea, please.
Go ahead and roll to distract him, to keep him from noticing.
Cool.
So for him, one of the things you'll be doing is these essentially can work like attacks. Now, they have what's called mental attacks. And what mental attacks are like, it's not necessarily like an actual physical attack. It just means that what you're doing is, it can be distracting somebody, it can be something along those lines. So your roll, whatever you end up rolling, is if you're successful, becomes your damage.
Cool.
And
no
so
advantage or challenge, by the way.
He's a minor. Oh, there'll be no challenge dice in here. No advantage or challenge. He's got a 50. Basically, his luck is considered 50. What is your?
I'm 65, so I'm 1 out.
So the other thing you can do is each of you has 100 luck. The 100 luck works both as like essentially hit points and other stuff as well. So one thing you can do is oh shit, let me double check. Remember, if you're actually able to use luck, you have to call before it, or can use it after. Oh, after a roll, you can spend increments of 10 points of luck to raise your chances. So what'll happen is you can spend 10 points of luck. It will take you up to essentially, basically raise your percentage up to by 10, but then you have to roll a challenge die.
Okay, so I'm 1 over, so spending 10 luck would.
Yeah, so spending 10 luck would mean you would succeed, but you have to roll a challenge die. So what you want is not to roll basically a challenge.
Cool. How do I roll just a challenge die?
It doesn't. You can just roll percentage and then just use one challenge die. It won't matter because it's just we ignore the. Hope you're fine. Yeah. So there's a moment where he gets up. He's like, I forgot something for a moment. He starts heading towards the room that you know that Azalea was going to break into. Well, since I've forgotten something, and how do you get him back? If you just want to narrate you've succeeded. It's just what do you do?
Oh, fuck. This hurts Hetty inside. But she accidentally spills her tea.
Oh! Yeah, rushes over. Like, let me.
Yeah, on herself. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're using your second story ability to sneak in? Oh, Azalea?
Yeah, easy.
Yep. Let me do something here just because it's good for me to have. Whoa, what did I just do? Everything went down. I'm just going to pull up your thief and have it open so I can just check it easily. Yeah, so your thing is having to try to case the joint. Yeah, so hopefully if you succeed in the case the joint, it's in his room somewhere. Otherwise, you might have to sneak out and pick his pocket, and I've got to be honest, kind of hoping you fail the first roll.
I'm kind of hoping I fail too.
Go ahead and put one challenge die on it, just so in case he might hear you.
Okay. Do I get any advantage on this or no?
No advantage.
Pop. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're going through, you manage to find it, and like as you close, there's like it's like a small, almost like a jewelry box on top of his dresser, and it makes that noise. And so, Hetty, you see, he sort of turns. He's like, "What was? I heard something from my room." And he stands up and he starts to walk towards his room.
Yeah, she says it's. You know how these houses creak. They're very old now. Don't let your tea go cold.
Roll to convince him. Oh, you actually have convinced someone at like 65%.
Yes, I do.
Go you.
This is absolutely not what the pallbearer is supposed to be doing, but fuck it. 0, 0.
Oh!
Fuck me.
He goes, No, doesn't creak like, or unless do you want to spend, what's your percentage? Do you want to spend 30 luck?
How much luck do we start off with? 100?
100.
Fuck me.
Don't do it for me. Don't do it for me. I'm fine.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm fine. Listen, I got in. I also have sneak around.
Okay, I trust you.
And run like hell. So I'm good.
Okay, yeah, so you can hear him coming, you hear him say the thing, and he's walking towards the door. What do you do?
I'm actually, so I came in through the window. What caused the noise? Was it me landing or was it the window?
No, it was like when you close the jewelry box.
Oh, the jewelry box.
Yeah, essentially the jewelry box had a like it squeaked as it came down.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to like go back out the window, close it, and like hang like from the window.
Okay, so I think for that one,
it's like evening, right? Like it's dark.
Oh yeah. Or no, it's you had your planning session. It's actually day. We'll say it's getting towards evening. Yeah, so the thing is, you're gonna do this to see if anybody happens to notice where the two of you are. Yeah, so I would go ahead and that doesn't quite seem like run like hell. Maybe.
Like it seems like sneak around.
Yeah, I think it says like sneak around if you're trying to hang on the outside of it and not get noticed.
How many challenge?
Let's you're hanging out the window in the broad daylight. Let's make that 3 challenge dice because one, you have to get there before he notices you, and he also has to not
cut out
notice.
When you said the amount.
Oh, 3.
3. So what does? Can you say what? Do they just add heat?
They can add heat. There's also some other stuff that can be done with those.
Well, I also got 2 challenge.
Yeah. So as you pop out there, okay. So you rolled 2 of them, which would be 4 heat. I'm going to spend those 4 heat, however. So as you're sitting there outside of it, underneath you are basically a city a squad of 5 city watch. So like right underneath you, the problem is right now you are not in a good position. Like you could drop, but you will land directly onto the city watch patrol that is underneath you. So that's what you've got for your complication. So at this point, yeah, you've got some problems.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, so you're sort of hanging there. You will notice Hetty as he's going through. It's like he's kind of looking around and going, "I would have sworn I heard something." He's in his room, just sort of looking around and not quite sure what to do before he heads back into the room where you're at.
It could have been anything for all we know. I mean, there is so many people outside today.
Maybe it was things settling. So Azalea, you are now hanging out the window with the city watch, like 5 of them underneath you talking. One of them just sitting there like this part of the street's always boring. How are you and Roberta doing? I don't know if it's gonna last. I mean, she wants me to meet her family. I don't want to meet him. I think it's gonna go poorly.
This is exactly a thief moment. This is a thief listening, like, passive dialogue moment.
Yeah. All right. To be clear, did the gem box I opened, did that have the key I needed?
Yes, you have the key. Unfortunately,
okay, I got the key. Then okay. In my thief tools, I have a grappling hook.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, with one hand, let go of the ledge and try to grapple over to like, and it's a padded grapple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to make a loud clang. To like grapple over to like a side balcony to the next building over, to at least get me some momentum in running away.
Okay, I would say make that. Let's get a climb, jump, or tumble roll. Give yourself 1 advantage and 2 disadvantage dice.
Yeah. Like,
Ah! Ah! Ah!
So you barely succeed with the 80% that you need. As you,
This
you
is
sort of
full Aladdin. This is full Aladdin. I got what I wanted.
you head over, kind of pop up into the thing, like into the next window, and there is a woman there who's bathing. As you come in, and her scream as you come through will generate some more heat. I'm assuming you just run out the door.
I cover my eyes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Enjoy your bath. It's okay. I'm just running. Bye.
And we'll say from there you're able to run away and get out of there without necessarily being caught by the guards. But it has built some more heat, which will become problematic a little bit later.
No. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, you have 12 heat. He could add a minor villain.
Remember, there's also specific ones for this particular job I'm able to add as well.
God. Oh God.
wait, where's the
Awkward.
Okay. So that takes us to. Give me just a second. I gotta pee again real quick because the drink's going through. Hetty, you want? So now that you've got this, you'll be able to disentangle yourself. Decide what your legwork scene is going to be. I'll be back in just a second.
Cool. 12 heat. Add a
I'm trying to figure out my work retirement accounts because I've been here long enough that they'll start contributing, but apparently I have to open a new account even though I already have one.
Wait, what?
So my job, they have a retirement thing. So all right, I can open a retirement account. After 2 years of full time, they're like, all right, we'll start contributing to your retirement account. But you need to open a new account to do it if you already have one. So all right, fine. I open the new account. The new account is not showing up anywhere on my login on their online portal.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, thankfully they're open for an hour and 45 minutes. Oh, and I have to do it by end of day tomorrow or else I'll miss out on them contributing for this period.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. They gave it to me today right before I left work. So I was like, really? You couldn't have been any faster about that? So yeah. I don't know if their account's just not showing up because nothing's in it. Because I also have to fill out a form and give it to HR. So maybe I just need to do that. Maybe I just fill out the form and go to HR and say, hey, I definitely set up the new account like you asked. It's not showing up on the online portal yet, but I did it. So you're giving me my money.
Yeah, I'm back.
Cool.
Question, what gives us influence?
Biggest ways for influence. One, if you decide you want to have a planning scene kind of in a place that will make it kind of difficult / dangerous for you is one way to gain influence. There are, let me just double check. Actually, I will say this. Because of the thing that you did, I'll go ahead and give Azalea 1 influence.
Yay!
Because that was crazy and fun.
Yay!
Yeah, so some of the stuff is by doing cool, fun, interesting things. You can decide to have a plan. If you have a planning scene someplace where you're conspicuous, which will build more heat, you kind of get some influence for that for just being possibly foolish. But yeah, bold, daring, or risky endeavors when taking the lead on legwork scenes and such can lead to getting more influence. So you got there's also one that is for the whole group.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do I take just one? Oh, click to draw. Draw. Can I put it into my thing?
Yep.
Nope. It didn't do it.
Oh, here, I will send it. Deal. Oh, did yours just go out to the
I might have just put it on the board somewhere.
Yeah, I
guess.
possibly. I just sent one to you.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing it on the board.
I don't know how to use Roll20's non-basic features.
I mean, good lord, for the games we played, Wheeled used them a little bit. You didn't play Wheeled though. That was
No.
Yeah, that was Alexa and Oren.
Yeah, Unknown Armies did not.
Yeah, Unknown Armies didn't need it.
Lim just for his owns.
And even then, it was just moving stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I miss Unknown Armies so much.
I'm still like burnt out on it. Like it was so good, but I'm still like, oh god, that was intense.
I still can't believe it ended when it ended. It was just like,
Yeah.
well, I think we just reached a. I think this is epilogue.
Very good endpoint, and I like ending things when they're done.
Amen. Amen.
Because I have been in a game that's 2 years too long.
Oh my god.
We're finally in the last arc. I will be leaving, I think, after this campaign is done. Yes.
Well, I had to. Our Masks game here in person. It was It was great. It was amazing. But we reached a hell of a climax, and then it really just sort of, for me, it's just over. We tried putting it into another system, but which wasn't working that good. But I got to a point where I'm like, guys, I feel like this one's done. Like it was great, but we reached an ending, and that's a good thing to reach.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I will say, when I was reading Invisible Sun, I was thinking of you three. I was like, holy shit, this feels like let's go Unknown Armies, but weirder.
Mm.
Some of the pictures on Invisible Sun are amazing.
Like the characters you can do for one shots. One of them has a book for a face. The other one is like all sorts of weird, like their body itself almost seems like it's a mistake taken by photographs. The one that summons demon has like a whole bunch of these like demonic looking armor fused to their body. One of the things you can do in it, you can literally just pay mage coins, go to a changery, and have your body completely changed. If you want the head of a head that's like a fish or a blazing sun, you can do that. All sorts of like wonderful weirdness.
Oh, that would enable my bullshit way too bad. Oh no.
Well,
no.
For some of those to get for the changery to get stuff that actually affects the world, you have to like spend a lot. But
sure,
just the magic stuff is cool too. So
that's
anyway,
dope art. Damn. Anyway,
okay, so that means it is Hetty's legwork scene. So you've now gotten the key from John, and what do you wish to do now?
I'm going to go up into the noble section and find the door that takes us up to the forbidden section.
Okay, so your thing there is you'll be able to get to the merchant section. So you're
Section.
the what?
I can't go up into the section.
Well, no, I will say this. Like you might be able to, but I'll tell you what you actually get to. So you're able to go into the merchant section sort of no problem. You go through, you show the key. Do you give your actual name or do you give a false one?
Betty.
So they make a note on the thing, and then you head up to the merchant floors. And the merchant floors are really, really nice. Now, granted, you have not been up to the noble floor to find out how much nicer they are. But there's tons of little reading rooms and alcoves scattered throughout it. The furniture is just fantastic, and you see a lot of places there are people sort of like sitting around in some groups and talking. You see a few who are going through and they'll pull out their keys and lock. There's certain doors and such that are locked. There's sometimes just like in the middle of some stacks, there's a door that they'll unlock and go through. Throughout this, I mean, it's one of those places, basically, what it looks like, this is a place designed for privacy.
Yes.
Where they can come and they can talk about things. It's not too hard as you kind of go through. You do see that there is there's a second group of guards that are at the entrance of this large sort of pearl inlaid wooden doors with gold trim that lead their way up to the noble floors. These are further into the merchant thing. So you do see where it would go up to them, and you're assuming these are the noble floors because one, that's what's above you after you've gone up a couple stories. So yeah, they're essentially sitting there, and you occasionally see like a noble will sort of come through. Usually, a couple of them will then come through, often be recognized by the guards, or talk with them for a bit, and then they will head up stairs.
Okay. Okay, so. Can I try to overhear what they say before going up to the guards?
Go ahead, make a probably for you like an anything. Looking at your stuff, probably an anything else roll, because you're sort of sitting around trying to hear them without necessarily drawing attention.
I could gossip with more merchants, actually.
True. Okay. Yeah, if you basically want to make a roll so you can gossip and then try to hear. Okay. Go ahead and make a gossip roll as you're sort of half listening and you're essentially trying to keep someone there while you're talking with them.
Yes. 26.
Not a problem. Yeah. You see it, there's a couple come through they recognize, and that's frustrating because you're like, God damn it. Like, they just go through, they don't have to say anything. But one come through and it's like, gives the name of his noble family. As he comes through, and then someone sort of checks the list, he says, he basically then like says his name itself, then shows a sigil that he has of his family. At which point they let him through.
Okay.
Honey really wishes this was a one-person job now.
Yeah, Delatry Sirvins was the name you saw, or that you heard.
Okay. So she's dealt with nobles before. She knows how to fucking act like a noble, and that basically means you act like you fucking own the place.
Yeah, I will say this. Remember, you are generally conspicuous in noble districts, which means one of the things is, like, there's just a part of you that doesn't quite fit in no matter what you do.
Yes. You act like you own the place, and this is going to get me like 8 complication dice, or 8 challenge dice, but fuck it.
4 is the maximum challenge dice you can have.
Okay. She wants to go over and pretend like she's a noble or has stuff to do with nobles, and just being like, "Don't be fucking stupid, just let me through. I'm with House."
House.
I'm their personal doctor, and I was told to be up there. Do you really want to piss off the Lord of House?
Make a convince someone roll and add 3.
Can this be an intimidate roll? Because that, like, she's trying to being like, no. Do you really want me? Do you really want to like piss off the nobles? That.
Yeah, make it can be intimidate, and then add 3 challenge dice. If the person's like, "I'm sorry, we're only allowed to let you up there if you are one of the nobility. Cool. We've never had a doctor come up here before."
Listen, I'm Trump's personal doctor, and you do not want to fucking.
Such a good doctor, the greatest doctor that you've ever seen.
Right. You deserve those 3 challenge for that comment.
Let's see.
Well, time to shrink these challenge. Well, no, I guess you're gonna spend shit to get because we're out of room.
Yeah.
Or just save up for 20.
Fuck. Add a major villain. Add a size 4 squad of City Watchmen.
Oh, I'm looking at a rival crew shows up to interfere.
Imprison or execute one of the crew's allies. All members of the crew are conspicuous at night.
Um,
Down one.
I mean, he doesn't have that much. He right now has a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12,
at
15.
At this point, you sort of hear from behind you. You hear John Treeweather.
Oh, fuck.
No, I was with her yesterday, and I swear I'd had my key. I was in here just the other day.
No, fuck.
You sort of turn and there's a guard with him. Like he's come up, and one of the guards from downstairs has actually come up with him. He's like, no, but turns to the guard with him. He's like, no, you've seen me here before. You know I have a key. I am paid up. And but then he sees you and comes over. It's like, I thought you didn't have a key.
And I thought I told you that people would show me up sometimes.
Make it convince someone. Add yourself 1 advantage and 1 disadvantage die.
Oh, I love this.
Your advantage because you did tell him that before.
Yes.
Oh, 1 though. Okay. So
Wait, 1 special?
I don't know. I mean, but still, it's a success. This one doesn't really do criticals. Not that I'm remembering. I can double check real quick. But you did get. There's just a sort of as they're sort of talking, and then he's like, well, yeah, you did, and then the guard who was there is like, people sometimes let you. Wait, what hospital do you work with? What is your name? What house again?
I know medicine and with the church and stuff. Do I know like a very important...
I know medicine personally. I'm very, very close with medicine. Boy, I'll tell you.
Listen, have you ever played that game where you have to like get the tweezers and take out the organs of that little man? If you touch the thing, it buzzes.
Operation?
Operation, that's it.
Yes.
So that would be really fun since I can get into anywhere. I just like pop my head in the window right now to distract people.
or oh no, you're not the one. You didn't take the mole.
Oh, that would have been so good if I took the mole.
But here's what you can do. If you were not in a legwork scene, you can spend 20 luck to appear in a legwork scene.
I actually don't think I would help here. I think I would just make things worse.
Yes, I think
Smoke bomb.
Mechanically, I could help. Azalea would not make things better.
She's gonna try. She's gonna continue the intimidation tactic and say that she's with like, and it like what's the biggest like and most like which like medical like hospital serves the rich.
We'll say the how about this? Our sister of the broken heart.
Yes, that.
Ooh, that's good.
That, and I have been requested by the Lord of House to be up there. And if I don't go up there on time, which you are pushing me over right now, he is going to have not just your jobs but your heads as well.
Roll and intimidate, but at this point, because John Treeweather knows this is not true, to intimidate someone, but give 4
He doesn't know who I was.
challenge dice. The fact that you work for a hospital, you're a doctor, has never come up.
Okay. Oh, 2. But I'm very successful.
Okay. Yeah, I think with that one, I'm just going to add some more heat. Things are going to get a little rough. At that point, he's just like, I suppose, and he's like, you'll find them upstairs, and then sort of lets you through, but like they're sort of talking, but they're sort of going through, and it's like, we need to make sure that they let us know if the doctors are coming in. Like, we're going to tell them, we're going to make sure that they know. You don't just send people up here unless they've been vetted beforehand. And you just head straight up there?
Yes.
All right. So you head up, and again, it's there are stacks sort of between these large, gigantic, opulent rooms. You see there are people that are meeting in some of the various rooms you're sort of walking through. I think you were probably told about the yeah, you were definitely told about the books. So your thing is you're sort of walking through, not quite sure exactly how to open up any of the things. You can start to look for it. What do you do now that you're up on the nobles floor? There are a couple guards sort of walking around that kind of give you an eye as you are walking around taking a look.
This is going to be real pushy. Not like this is going to be like a real stretch. Can I try and feel for magical wards in a certain direction? So I can like sense if the because I'm guessing that the door to like the forbidden section is going to be like warded to fuck. So I want to sort of like
go ahead and use your use sorcery because people are sort of going around. Go ahead and add one challenge die.
79. Still get it.
Do me a favor. Roll again to make sure it's a challenge die, not an advantage die. The challenge dice are D8s. The advantage are D10s. There's a different number of symbols on them.
I am doing challenge dice.
Yeah, it says one challenge for both of them.
Which is weird. Does it just have different symbols for blank and...
Is the macro wrong?
Advantage pool 0, 1. Oh, I think it'll automatically just put. That's weird that it put that. Yeah, because it's rolling the wrong one. That's weird. Oh, wait. Your macro. Let me double check. Your macro might be a little bit off. Well, no, but your challenge dice earlier worked fine.
Is it is that just the symbol for blank?
Yeah, I think that's just a miss.
Oh, maybe I put those in because I've got those on like rollable tables.
Yeah, those are just misses.
Because the blank advantage is a D20, I think.
Yeah, if you scroll up to where I made 2 rolls, there's an example of where I rolled.
Yeah.
I'm a miss, and then below that, an advantage miss.
It's because it's also not black, so that's what's because the actual physical dice are. So that was confusing me. Okay, we're good. That's fine. That's a little confusing. They basically send you a little thing like if you have to use regular dice, this is what they would look like. Okay, so we're fine. Here's the there is a massive amount of magic up above you.
Yes.
Like as you're sort of feeling it, and you do see there is as you're sort of kind of going through and trying to find maybe where it's clearest from. You find a portion of the... Now, granted, it's going to be a little hard to get to, but you do find a portion of the stack. There's basically just a place where there's a wall, but you can kind of feel like it's coming more directly down right by where you're at. You're not entirely sure where it's coming from, but this is going to be the place.
It's that general area.
Yeah, there's something around here. You're looking at the books. Like you don't know if you got to pull something or whatever to get through there, but this seems to be where you would be able to get your way up there.
Okay. I slowly wiggle every book.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so for that, I would go ahead. That'll be an anything else roll for you, I believe.
Yeah, book wiggling.
Yep, and then
you don't have book wiggling?
Because it'll take a little bit. Go ahead and roll 3.
Well, I want to break the lock. No, I'm joking.
Roll 3 challenge with that, so it's going to be a little bit because like you need to try to do it without nobody noticing you're hanging around the part you shouldn't be.
Damn!
I think we're at 28, right?
3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16. No, this will put us at 18.
Cool.
Oh, 4 more just appeared.
Yeah, there's.
They're worth 2 each.
Yep,
We're at 20.
Okay. You're sitting there at one point, and like you as you pull on, like, are you pulling it enough that it actually comes out, or
Yes.
just to feel? So as you hit the thing, you can kind of pull it. There's a, and then part of the stairway sort of comes down, and about the same time you sort of hear, "Hey!" from behind us. You look back and you see a guard who's just been kind of boredly walking around, notices that it's coming down, and sees you. What do you do?
Cool. I turn around and start saying, this bloody place. Where on earth is Lord?
At that point, he's like, "You're not supposed to be here. What? How did you know to pull that?"
Because I know that. Because I'm trying to find Lord, whatever his name is, and the only way to get through here is to pull some bloody books. I'm just trying to pull any book to try and find him now. He didn't give me proper fucking directions.
Okay, that sounds like convince somebody, and I would add 2 challenge dice to that.
$58, yes.
Okay, so come with me.
Cool, follow.
It comes and sort of takes you by the arm, and then works his way. Whoa, get rid of a couple of those. Takes you into one of the rooms, like hits the thing, and then the door opens up, and he goes, "She's apparently supposed to be with you." And there's these 2 nobles are sitting there talking, like having a drink, and they just turn and stare at you. What do you do?
Okay.
Um,
I love how I just walked into the door and I keep going.
Lexa, would you like me to do something to help?
If you want, I'm not gonna stop you.
Hey,
I love
is
how
this
I'm
room
just-
have any windows in it?
Yes, it does.
Great. I would love to spend. Is it? You said 20 luck.
Yep.
All right. Where do we mark that?
On the character sheet, there's a thing like you start off with 100 luck. There should be a thing there for luck.
I love the
Colton, luck. Edit. Luck is at 80.
I love her so much.
So, Azalea, has actually, so like off camera, been like on the outside of the spire, like listening in at windows, trying to follow where Hetty has been going, because she's been causing such a ruckus, and got in this room, and she heard down to the lower floor about clearance and stuff. How much bullshit would it be for me to have like forged some kind of like document, and I have a rule where if I pickpocket someone, I can leave someone on them without them noticing. So to like have like clearance for Hetty.
Spend your
Fuck me.
spend your influence for that.
Okay, 1 influence is gone.
So it says like, are you trying to sneak in and then drop that into Hetty's?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, like, I think it's almost like would they have like a clearance list to check? Or like, wait, is there someone on the list? Or would it be better? Like, I don't know how to get it to Hetty unless I don't know how to get to Hetty with all eyes on her right now.
So I would say this: if you'd roll sneak around and then also pickpocket to get it in there, with Hetty like not drawing attention, like knowing something's being put there, but not drawing attention to it.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I would do is for each of those add two complication dice.
2 complication dice. Love it. Thank God that when I roll any move to sneak around or hide, I get 2 advantage as well.
Nice.
Okay, so 2 advantage, 2 disadvantage or challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, hello there, 2 advantage. What does advantage do?
All right. we'll say this as you're going through, so we can do like some plot twists there. We'll say you recognize one of the nobles that are in the room, and it's someone you've actually worked for before. Yeah, you got two of them. So it's also one that you know things about them that could become problematic.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, you know things about them, things they've done that could become problematic, to the point where you know if you kind of show yourself, like your face for a second, while you're putting this stuff in, just so that they can see you, while you're putting the stuff in Hetty's pocket, they will essentially most likely go along with whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I like that good shit.
Because you got two of those motherfuckers.
Jesus Christ!
And two of those should be rewarded. Yeah, so there's a moment like, and the thing is, Hetty, like, you kind of notice that one of them just goes a little pale, and then you feel like there's a sort of a familiar tug at your pants or skirt or whatever, where you're just like, oh, okay, I know what this is. And you feel something kind of go into one of your pockets.
Cool. She smiles and says, I've been told that I'm to meet with you.
Yes. You are supposed to be
something. What? She doesn't even know what's in her pocket, so she goes to pull it out anyway.
Yeah, Azalea, make the same roll to sneak away without being seen.
Sorry, roll for what?
The same roll to sneak away without being seen.
Oh, to sneak away. Okay, cool. 2. Yeah. Well, I make it.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Here, I will just. Whoops. Yeah, I'll just add those. There's gonna be some fun stuff coming up. Yeah. So in which case, yeah, you manage to sneak out, get your way out. You kind of hear someone like, "What was that?" Head over when you're once again like out and free before things get too bad, and then heading down the window. Yeah, the noble sort of like looks at you like, you were supposed to see me, and they kind of shut the door and the guards leave. Do we want to cut there from from there to then, like, I guess it'd be the next planning phase, and we're probably the place where we want to sort of stop for the night.
What exactly was in my pocket?
Oh, it was forged papers.
A very official document. And also a sticky note with like a really nice drawing of a rose.
Okay. And it's...
Oh no, an Azalea. What the fuck am I doing? It's a really good drawing of an Azalea.
And it's documents that allow me to be upstairs. Is that what we're saying, or what?
Yeah, like that. I mean, clear with Mikhail, but like, yeah, like basically, yeah, like documents like I have been contracted by this noble and therefore require access to this level of the library.
Yeah, I think some of it probably hastily written.
Yeah. Well, I imagine the influence was like me, like ahead of time, probably like, oh, well, she's out doing this. I could probably get this set up.
Okay.
So I'm just picturing the scene ending with like, so you were supposed to come here? Yes. And then cuts to wherever the two of you have your planning phases at.
Cool.
So I think at this point is probably a good time because it's getting close to 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think next week there was someone who from the Gauntlet who was interested in joining, who might be able to. We might be able to add a few more.
Oh, cool.
Folks, which will probably actually like literally take because it's supposed to be less time for. If there's, I think less than 4 people, it's not quite as much time. So things might move ahead a little bit, but I'll make a note that you are.
I bet Azalea was just watching that entire shit show and just being like, "We need more people."
Yeah.
Or just 5 of me.
I love how Hetty just fucking stumbles along and just like, if I just keep talking, things are gonna like happen.
God, that was very oh god, your unknown army's character. That's what that felt like.
Roxy. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was very Roxy.
Go ahead, Hetty. Take an influence for just being completely gutsy and just sort of waltzing in, going and.
Cool, thank you.
What's funny is the previous times I've run this has not had quite as much like. I guess we also did almost a little bit more drama scenes with the footwork stuff, but I haven't seen it quite as dangerous for the party. It's been fun.
Yeah. This is good.